How to Get a Loving Couplehood by Kirsten Ahlburg. Narrated by Bäckvall. A long-term couplehood. Daniel and Amy have been together for over 4 years. They were madly in love when they got married and decided that their marriage was to last forever. Both grew up as joint custody children, and they would do anything to develop a good couplehood and avoid divorce. But good intentions will not always be enough. One also has to know what to do to make matrimony last. And Daniel and Amy did not know very much. Their own parents had not set a good example. Amy thought the best thing she could do for their partnership was to make sure they would always understand each other. Consequently, she could talk for hours about some problem, attempting to find a solution. Daniel, on the contrary, thought that people may talk themselves into imaginary problems. Therefore, he thought they should handle problems as they arose, without too much talk about them. Such different approaches to problem-solving did not create a good basis for their couplehood. But they did not differ in their approach to problem-solving only. They also had mutually contradictory needs regarding intimacy and time together. This was true of their everyday life, when Amy wanted to have a cozy time with Daniel in their living room, while Daniel preferred to get away from home and train football with his fellow players. It was also true of their sex life, where Amy needed caresses and fond words, while Daniel was more into naughty and somewhat rough things. The differences between Amy and Daniel grew into a problem. Amy was constantly trying to change Daniel. She censored and criticized his behavior and accused him of being unwilling to do enough to keep up their relationship. Daniel grew resentful, for he loved Amy, only he did not want to let go of himself and his own interests. So when Daniel did not show any signs of changing himself, the idea of a divorce nevertheless started flashing through Amy's mind. Her dreams about married life had not come true. Their wish to keep together was not enough. This happens to many couples. They want to make everything work, but they do not know how to go about it. They think that if only they love one another and keep their resolve, everything is going to be fine. And indeed it is in many cases. But with several couples, things go badly. They need a helping hand, and it turns out that some clear, simple advice will often be enough to save a marriage, provided both partners are willing to make an effort for the sake of couplehood. The main prerequisite of a good couplehood is the partner's ability to accommodate to their differences. There is nothing wrong with Amy's need for intimacy and time together, nor is anything wrong with Daniel's need for football and time with his fellow players. Both have a right to be like that. They may let go of all that bears the name of recriminations and blame. No good will ever come of that anyway, for neither partner is to blame. They are just different persons with different needs, and both must learn to respect that. This does not mean that you should not try to have your needs fulfilled if you need intimacy and time together like Amy. But it means that you have to give expression to your own needs, tell what you need and tell your partner how it will affect you if your needs are never fulfilled. Then your partner will have to consider whether he or she is willing to pay heed for the sake of couplehood. If you make accusations and reproach, your partner will usually shut up or be defensive. If, on the other hand, you tell about your needs, your partner will usually open up and listen. Just try to notice the difference between these sentences. "You're never at home. You only take an interest in football and don't care about me," as opposed to these sentences. "I miss you. I'd like to spend more time with you. Can't we find a day?" Another important thing in partnership is the willingness to learn from one another. You are not necessarily right all the time, and perhaps things can be done differently. This is something you can turn to good account in everyday life, from how to cut the cheese to
Sample complete. Ready to continue?